Okay, so hey, what's going on, guys? I don't know why it's always like I'm sitting just right up on the camera. And I've tried to scoot back before, and it just don't look right with my little setup. But anyways, I don't want to sit up and complain about that. What this video is about is the 144,000. So for the ones of you guys that has followed my channel long enough, and you understand that I've said plenty of times, I'm not from here. I'm from the future. I am, and I'm going to be talking more about this too. Of course, like, I don't feel like I'm the only one, but when I say that I'm from the future, I am, I'm not, my life doesn't reflect a lot of what goes on here on earth with people, with individuals, with the way that they perceive things, the way that they perceive reality, what it means, what it stands for them. And for me, it's not my place to necessarily come and say, like, knock them down and devalue who they are and what they choose to be and whatever or whatnot. That's not my goal. I'm more about, and because I'm one of the individuals that have the power to do this, and I'm pretty sure there's other people that watch me who are also one of those said individuals that have the power to do this, and besides, we, in activating this, because really, remember, we're all part of some overall working machine of some sort, but igniting and activating this within other individuals too, the ones who are feeling like, okay, well, I'm perceiving reality from this from this dimension, from this dimensional position that I'm in. This is how I'm perceiving reality, but igniting in them a flame of some sort, like the flame of truth, the light that shows them another reality, and that becomes the individuals that's doing this, the flame that's ignited within each individual, each one teach one, become part of the 144,000. The Bible to me is a book of some sort, a book of codes almost. And it had to be. In any book, to where it's teaching people something, it is bringing information. It's bringing information a lot of times from multiple dimensions, right? At one given time, it's starting from the top, and filtering information starts from the top to overall, and filters down all the way down to the bottom. Okay, you got to think of it like that. But because there's always different levels of understanding. You're going to have those individuals that's going to go into a calculus class or something and not going to understand a single thing of what is being said to them. They're not going to understand the numbers. They're not going to understand why it even exists. It's like, why am I here? Okay. But although this is mathematics, this is a system of mathematics. But, those same individuals, they may could do something, like, okay, 2 + 2 = 4. They may can divide 8 by 4 and things of that nature. But at the same time, within calculus, as you break the system down within calculus, there's addition, there's dividing, there's different subsets of information that goes and adds up, that builds up into that one overall umbrella. So, information on, like, if I can explain it from that particular standpoint and that particular point of view, then this happens on all levels of our humanity, of our spirituality, of our essence, of our soul level. It happens on all levels, all dimensions. So even when it comes to understanding our blueprint of our spirit, of our soul, of what the avatar that we're possessing, there are different levels. But the funniest thing that gets me, guys, the funniest thing that always takes me back is when I look at somebody or individuals that think that they know it all and they are so intelligent according to the level, the dimensional level that they of understanding and information that they are on and they perceive. And they believe that information outside of that, of what they're talking about, is just so illogical. And I was like, I still find it funny. Like, I laugh at individuals. I don't even laugh at them. I'm just like, wow, you think you are so adamant. And I notice this more amongst men. I feel that men are less likely to be in tune. Not all, but a great amount of them. But the 144,000, they'll be able to come back and, enlighten them in the way that they need to. But the reason why I say this is because I feel like men a lot of times are less in tune with information outside of direct information that they're given. And it just is what it is. It's not an insult, it's just truth. I have come to battle with a lot of men that have been like, with astrology, I'm like, dude, the planets. It ain't what magic. What? Yes, the way, the whole thing with the people are afraid of a word called magic. Don't listen. The fact that we get up every day and we're able to even learn, the fact that our brain processes information, acts as some sort of heart-like system to where it's, the more information you put in there, the more it expands, and memory is really all we have to our identity on this planet. And you want to into our attachment to this planet, and you want to tell me that magic is that's a fear, that's something we should fear, that's a word that we should be fearful of. To me, that's magic. Everything else, that's just a aspect. That's just another aspect of what magic is. When people are talking about potions and candles and different things, another aspect. To me, how I don't understand even how religious people fix their mouth to say they're going to pray to something that we don't even see. Okay, it's the same thing, and get answers and get guidance and get these miracles for them that take place, and anything else outside of that is magic. Okay, so you're not performing magic by you sitting here telling me that you are conjuring up a spirit, okay, that we don't see. It's the same thing. So it really, really, I find it so illogical. To me, the science of the solar system and all that is more logical than some stuff that other people talk about. You know what I'm saying? And I'm one of those ones that's here for it all. You hear what I'm saying? But it just boggles my mind. I'm like, you literally are sitting here, you adding, bruh. You doing mathematics and you dividing, and you trying to come up here and you trying to smirk at the calculus information. Like, because you don't understand it. You don't even begin to understand it because you didn't even take calculus. So you can't even, how you ain't pass algebra 2, but you over here, like you about to have a conversation with somebody that did. You can't have that conversation until you have taken it and you successfully mastered algebra 2. You can have conversations, but you can't sit here and dismiss a person who has taken that class as if it's nothing to you, as if it can be nothing to you, but you don't have no right to speak on it. Because the algebra 2 person could easily be like, oh, really? You stuck over there on adding and subtracting? So this is what I can't put my understanding around. It's just because of ignorance. And the most educated people sometimes could be ignorant as well. Cause it's like you stuck on trying to tell me some history that was already poked and poked and diluted and changed, and you trying to tell me, listen. But the point that I'm trying to make is a lot of these, the 144,000 are, no, what I'm trying to tell you is that in these texts of information, there are a lot of codes, mainly because of ignorant people, and mainly because of people not being, like, all people, you have to find a way to govern all people. And what are you going to do? The easiest way is just like, you take a school. You got like the high performing students, and they're going to be in these programs and stuff like that that show that this is what they represent. You got the ones that's like, the general, average performers. You got the ones that need a little bit more assistance. They in special education. And then you got like the severe and profound ones. We got the whole spectrum here. But you can't go into the special education and severe and profound and be like, okay, well, because you don't know this general curriculum or higher, we can't teach you anything. You can't, not in a school setting, you're not going to be able to do that. So what takes place? Okay, here you go. Give them the general education, but we're going to have to filter it. We're going to have to place, we're going to have to chop the information up. We're going to dilute it a little bit. We're going to break it down to their level of understanding. And the easiest way to do it, you're not going to just say, we're about to bring in a whole different program necessarily. You're going to be under the same program, but we're just going to hit all the bases. We're going to cover all of y'all in one. Same thing with any text, even religious text, anything outside that, same thing. It's coded. And it's coded with the same stuff that people that's not tapped in, they're operating in a dimension that's only revealing information to them in the way that they're perceiving it. They're not tapping into a way to where they're able to access it, the understanding of it, or perceive it on a different level. They're not. But the same information is there. And because some of these individuals, a lot of the coding and deception that did take place was a lot to do with people that didn't understand said information. It's kind of like, well, hey, you believe what you want, because you're not going to keep coming up against me at your dimension, at your level of perception. You're not going to be able to do it. But the point that I'm trying to make is that the 144,000 people keep being so set on it being just this 144,000 people, these 144,000 people. And that are the chosen ones, that are God's people, just 144,000 people out of millions of people on earth. But what I've realized that's just about a level of perception. And a lot of people like to make themselves feel more important, than the work that they're here to do. That's fine. But, the way that the 144,000 was given to me to understand and comprehend was that it was about really the completion of a certain age, of a certain level of existence, of a certain dimension, of certain vibration, the frequency 9, because 144,000 adds up to 9. The infinite 9, the infinite dimensional matrix, the infinite 9, the understanding beyond that level, the understanding to be able to expand out, to be multidimensional, to come back, to look down, to perceive, to perceive other realities of oneself, to perceive higher knowledge, higher information, understanding, because it's time. It's time. And nine is a repetition of some sort, because we're going from 1 through 9, and then we're cycling. It's another cycle. Hence, there's nothing new under the sun. There's nothing new, but it is. The newness is coming from, learning. When you cover a certain material, let's go back to the school. When you're covering a certain material in class, in school, you may not understand it when the teacher first says it. Some people, they got to repeat the whole grade. Some people, you can tell they not at 100% by that test score. The test scores, the test results. Some people may be performing at a 40%, some 30, some 0, some not at all, some 80%, but it's like, okay, well, I need more, so hey, we got to take it up higher. You need to come to like the study group at the school. What do you need to do? No different. That's why there's things that's not is known but unknown in this reality, in any reality that we're in. And we're all operating in different realities at the same time. Even though we can come, and I'm talking about in our human bodies at this point, we can come and we can see the same thing. We can sit out on the same block. We can come and we can get up and we can go to the same facility. We can do things at the same place, but we can be perceiving that experience different. So one experience that's one individual may be having, another individual could have that same experience, but perceive it different. One person could perceive it as something that's bad, that's harmful, that's hurtful. Another person could perceive it as something that's freeing, that's good. Do you understand that aspect of the reason why we're here? We're learning. Because some people could be like, oh man, you know what? I overcame a situation that I was in against all odds. They Tupac up in this piece. And because they went through a certain hardship and it affected them negatively, but they got themselves in a position to where their children doesn't have to experience that, or they're not experiencing the same thing that they did once experience, they feel like proud of themselves. They feel like they've overcame, they got the lesson. And then you have others that find it hard to get out of said positions or situations that affected them in life, and they find themselves repeating the same patterns or whatever. They may perceive the situation as something that negatively happened to them or negatively influenced them in life. But then you will have an onlooker say, oh, well, you shouldn't let that affect you. You shouldn't let that be an excuse to why you can't make it. Or they may say, oh, well, you shouldn't be sitting up here being happy about that. You act like you're better than other people. To the person that excelled and made it to a different position in their life. This is why it's important to know yourself and stay in your own lane. Crossover as needed. But still. But the 144,000, the 9, the understanding ourselves from a higher dimension, changing up our frequency, the radio station, like I said, you get in the car, you can't cross from one city to the next and expect to hear the same radio station unless, you like you're connect, like unless you're on the Wi-Fi and you tapped all the way in, you on the same frequency still. But I'm just saying, you got one radio station playing in one city, you cross over to another city, that you then have to readjust, you have to retune your radio to match the frequency of the radio station in that city that you cross over into. Okay? And this is why each of the 144,000 is on the 9 vibration, which is really, we're talking about 9. We're talking about completing cycles, and we're going into the new has even comes with their own mission. And I will get into that later. I'm going to highlight that and take notes that, okay, we're going to continue these videos. But they feel like they come with their own mission. It could be, and I don't discredit any mission at all, because this could be something as simple as saying, I'm here in this lifetime to observe others, and when they come to me, or when I'm guided to, I'm going to drop seeds of wisdom on them. It could be that minute, all the way to someone actively vocally speaking out. I seen a guy, I was going into Walmart the other day. I seen a guy wearing a mask. He had on a mask, but he had this sign over his mask that said, that he was wearing, covering up his mouth. But it said, let go. That was something that I don't see all the time. And the message was profound. I think it said, just let go. Just let go. That message of just let go will speak to so many different people, or so many different people needed that message. And it was interesting because at first you want to look and say, okay, why would okay, really? You have to have a big sign covering your mask, what I'm trying to say is you couldn't even really judge him after reading it. Because you know what it meant. You knew what it meant. And if you were someone that was operating from a place of wisdom, you get it. You get, like, okay, he's here. He's activated to do his mission. No matter whether all of us understand it or not. So no, I'm not just looking at the 144,000 as just a number of, well, it's set 144,000. It's more than that. It's deeper than that. It's not even deep. It's not even really that deep. I think that we start getting deep when we start into, for whatever reason, into these different variations, these different branches, like, how there's like different churches, like the non-denominational, the 7 days advantage. I don't know. To where they go to church on Saturday, but then they off on Sunday. You got the Baptists, you got the, like, we got different aspects here. There was some other ones, the ones that where you had to all wear just straight skirts, whatever. Like as a woman, you wear skirts. Anyways, the point that I'm trying to make is that when we start branching off, and I get it too, because some of it's about algorithm when you're dealing with social media. If you don't, and I have to get off of that. I have to stop. I have to realize this, because I feel like that's what's affecting a lot of my videos, because I refuse to I don't want to be stuck with putting chosen ones and stuff like that in my titles. But I know that's affecting the algorithm. So I get it. But what I'm trying to say is that I feel like sometimes it's just as simple as saying, dang, seeing the 144,000 and being like, dang, that's 9. And watch how it all just fits in to the fact that, oh man, we on a whole different frequency. Like, look, like, shoot, tune your radio stations in. Like what? Oh, you still back? Okay, you still over there, and you ain't crossed over into this city over. You in that city over there? Okay, you ain't. Okay, like it's you can look out and you can see it. It's not even something that you have to explain. You really don't have to explain it, because once the information lines up, you can just trace it. You can just. It doesn't, it's a lot of words that you're reading, but really it ain't nothing that you need to read. It's because you realize, like, dang, it's speaking without speaking, because it came from within me first. It came from within somebody else first. You don't think over there and in other worlds, like Atlantis, different places, somebody didn't have to come in and usher in that time and be the 9. In other words, what I'm saying, teachers come, just like teaching. When you're teaching something to somebody, you're teaching this information, but when it's time, when the teacher needs to retire, we need to get some new teachers in. Hey, we need to. Oh, we're teaching the same information. It's still even to the point, guys. I'm gonna get on this on another video. It is even to the point sometimes to where you have set people that come in anyways. That's gonna be like, okay, shoot, I'm here to come to be the teacher. Like, oh, it's the dawning of a new age. Let me get in. Don't even. There are souls here that didn't reincarnate here to pick up karma and to they've already graduated this plane. They're just like, okay, let me go in. They're like, hey, no, we need y'all is really screwed up down here. We need the top teacher. We need the best of the best. We need the ones that you go get the ones that can't, that's already, did they spill this? And people, y'all need to, you're not taught this, but we need to start understanding who we are and stop letting these individuals that's on their plane of perception and they can't see. You can't be. Somebody told me, a good friend of mine was like, you can't be standing like on the street. You can't be standing somewhere like on the street somewhere and expecting to see somewhere over a mountaintop. Like exactly whatever is higher than where you're standing at. If you're standing on stairs, you can't be on the bottom stair and be like, oh, okay, well, I know exactly what's going on the top step or something. No, you gotta be able to, as you get up higher to a higher position, then you're able to see down in the position down under that, and down under that, and down under that. Okay, well, I'm gonna stop there. And this is one of the many videos, y'all, that I have coming up. You hear what I'm saying? And then to me, it ain't nothing but it's just space and opportunity for me. You hear what I'm saying? And there's a lot of stuff. I know that there's a lot of stuff that I say that, I hear other people say, but I don't, it don't matter to me. Because I kind of feel like anytime anybody I'm honored anytime anybody takes anything that I say and they spread it, because I feel like still people take that type of stuff for granted because everybody wants to be seen as a person that does this and that does that. Cool. But I feel like it's me still doing my job and representing what I represent and showing no fear, because what I got to do that for? Even though there's stuff that I say that people feel like, oh, that ain't even out there yet. It don't matter. It's somewhere in our consciousness to even perceive it. It's somewhere in even if I was one of the individuals to come and be like, okay, let me come in and do my job. Still, if I'm sparking something inside of your consciousness, it's because you already are at a level to where you can perceive said information that I'm saying, that I'm speaking. I come across a lot of individuals like that to where they activated or they're becoming activated, but they are afraid. They live regular lives. They think people ain't gonna listen to them, but who cares? Like, you can't listen. You gonna always you have to understand, like, okay, well, I'm here and I'm looking down. Not that I'm looking down on them because I'm better, but I'm looking down because I'm at a level to where I'm able to access what's going on up here in this atmosphere. I'm up here in this atmosphere, like I'm up here in this atmosphere. They down there. They can't see what's going on up here. But once, that don't mean that they can't get up here. And once they do, they're like, oh, I get what you're talking about. Yeah, you like, yeah, you see what yeah, you see. Okay, right. Because you couldn't speak from where it wasn't that you was incapable. It was because you was allowing yourself to perceive what you was perceiving because of whatever reason you was perceiving it, and what was perceived what was really perceived. Okay, let me stop. All right. Okay, guys, so I'm going to stop right there, and I'm definitely going to return. I got lots of videos to do. I've been a little bit under the weather, and my whole goal I don't just come, listen, my goal is to see after myself first. And that's how I operate. That's when I'm able to prepare myself. I feel like if spirit or whatever is like putting me in a position to understand something, to comprehend it, to where I'm able to really be, be in tune and to be able to speak what it is that I'm saying, um, and explain that. I feel like every second, every minute, every hour, every day that there's some sort of delay or I have to wait, it's all worth it. It's not being rushed or it's not being rehearsed. None of that. All right. And I want to thank you guys